Mr. Flaherty. You're here someplace. Come on up. Mr. Soon-to-be doctor in a few minutes, Flaherty, was selected by all of our graduating students for this very high honor.
Dr. Davis, Mr. May, Dean Chong, Dr. Cameron, members of the Board of Trustees, members of the faculty of the school, honorary degree recipients, friends, family, and assembled guests, and the graduating class of 2013, it is a huge honor to stand before you. I never even thought that I was going to make it through anatomy class in the first year of medical school, let alone graduate. So being able to speak in front of all of you on our graduation day is truly humbling. Today is a wonderful and extremely special day. After 4 or more years of hard work and dedication, countless hours in the library, and even more countless hours on the floors of the hospital, we have finally made it. Just think of what we've done in those 4 years. We dissected an entire human being. We delivered babies, placed IVs, saved lives, and between us, we served the surgery department as human retractors for over 10,000 man-hours. I genuinely calculated that number. Congratulations too to the members of the graduate school here today. Anyone who sends out an email to the students all listserv at 3:45 in the morning asking to borrow, and I quote, some rat anti-mouse antibody clones genes into P-bait retroviral vector from Farmingen has, in my opinion, also worked extremely hard. But seriously, your long hours in the lab and tireless research have led to many peer-reviewed publications and significant scientific and medical advances for which you deserve great recognition. Graduating MPH students and Masters in Genetics Counseling students, your dedication to large-scale public health practice and individualized healthcare and family planning to patients with inherited disorders is not only admirable, but essential in the world of medicine today. So, graduating medical, PhD, MPH, and Masters in Genetics Counseling students, you should all be extremely proud of yourselves to have arrived at where you are today, sitting here, waiting to receive your degrees. However, none of us could have arrived at this point in our lives if we had walked this journey alone. It would have been impossible. Each and every one of us here has a support team, and we couldn't have done this without all of the individuals in it. We couldn't have done it without the support and generosity of our parents and family, the faculty, our classmates, our friends, and everyone else in between. Ever since I first arrived in the United States 8 years ago, I've been struck by the incredible generosity of the American people, and, in particular, the generosity shown towards people like me, a non-American. Generosity to foreigners isn't something new in America. It strikes me as integral to the very meaning of what it is to be an American. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, are not empty words. They describe America's open-hearted welcome and generosity to millions of European immigrants fleeing poverty and oppression in their home countries. Both my grandfathers were British doctors serving in the Second World War. Without Roosevelt's Lend-Lease program, it is doubtful whether Britain, and possibly my grandfathers themselves, could have survived. Without the post-war Marshall Plan, it is doubtful whether Western Europe could have survived and prospered as it did. I myself have benefited from countless individual acts of American generosity. Dr. Laidman, where are you? True question. Unfortunately, Dr. Lakeman cannot be here, as he is in London for a conference, but I've managed to Skype him in for this part of my speech. He's here. First off, we all love you, but you really are absolutely terrifying in first year anatomy. Just plain frightening. I'm still suffering post-traumatic stress disorder from table conferences. And your love for the recurrent laryngeal nerve is extremely strange and unnerving. Excuse the terrible pun. For those of you unfamiliar with table conferences, they are essentially team anatomy pop quizzes conducted over your cadaver, during which Dr. Lakeman or another anatomy professor rapid fires questions at you and the rest of your anatomy team, like, please locate, differentiate, demonstrate insertion points, and name nerve innervation and blood supply for the zygomaticus major and zygomaticus minor muscles. At which point one thinks to oneself, what on earth is the zygomaticus muscle? And where on earth is it? Is it in the foot? No, we just dissected the head and neck. It can't be in the foot. Then one makes a feeble attempt at guessing where said muscles are in the head and neck, and stumbles through answering the rest of the questions. On one such table quiz, I had done so badly that Dr. Lakeman took me aside, which itself was one of the most intimidating experiences in my life to date. He towered over me as he inquired about how I knew so little. And why I had done so poorly on the table conference. It ended with Dr. Lakeman requesting that I meet with him once a week in his office for my own personal table conference. You thought table conferences were scary. Try a personalized one with Dr. Lakeman once a week, every week, throughout anatomy. Initially, I thought I was being punished, but then it dawned on me that Dr. Lakeman, distinguished professor, medical education, president of the American Association of Anatomists, was taking time out of his schedule to meet with me, a pokey little first-year med student, once a week because he wanted me to succeed. He wanted me to pass anatomy, to pass first year, second year, the boards, third year, fourth year, and to become a doctor. And to be honest, if it were not for those sessions that I studied for so vigorously, because I was so terrified of getting the answers wrong in my personalized table conferences, I'm not sure if I would have passed. It is many, many stories of generosity like this which makes Mount Sinai and this country so great. Like the 250 Mount Sinai medical students who volunteered during and after Hurricane Sandy to help Mount Sinai cope with the huge influx of patients from other damaged New York City hospitals. I would also like to mention one tremendous act of generosity to Mount Sinai, the $200 million donation from Mr. Icahn. On behalf of the first class to graduate following the renaming of our school in his well-deserved honor, thank you very much, Mr. Icahn. I could go on and on, but my time here is up, and we have to graduate. So in closing, it's time for some final thank yous. Thank you, family and friends. Thank you, faculty and teachers. Thank you, classmates. Thank you, Mount Sinai. And thank you, the United States of America.